Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very, very, very special episode of Messi Co. It's one we've been previewing for a while that is only a few days away now, but it's the Messi Co. official World Cup 2026 predictions. And we couldn't do an episode like this without our very good friend, Javi Guerrero from Lemon City Live. So before I get to you, Gian, we got to start with our special guest. Javi, how we feeling? It's World Cup. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we're here.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm feeling great.
Yeah,
Can't wait to get started. My mic was muted apparently. Can't wait to get started. Happy, seeing a lot of crazy things happening before the World Cup already. So it's going to be a strange one. It's going to be very different, and I think it's going to be very interesting World Cup.
Gian?
I'm excited. It's honestly feels like the longest waiting for this. I mean, obviously been 4 years, but as you get closer to it, I don't know why it feels like it gets farther and farther away. I was talking about it months ago. I can't wait for the World Cup. I can't wait for the World Cup. And it's in a couple of weeks. Can't wait for it. Then you start doing the little book with the stickers and you get more excited. And I think we're about like 86% done with my family. We got a book that we're all filling out. And now it's only days away. And honestly, I cannot wait. I told myself I'm not going to miss a single game, not a single one. I don't care to what time I got to stay up with. The latest is 12 p.m. So 12 a.m. So I think I'll be fine. But I'm excited. We're finally here. I'm excited to talk about it. And look, I'm representing Ecuador here. I think I've got a lot to say about this team. People call it a dark horse, but I'm really excited to talk about it. So
dark horse is a good thing. Dark horse is a good thing. It means that they have a chance.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Javi, I see it based on, we got a couple of chats about it already. Talk about the jersey you're wearing. I didn't get the memo, and so I'm not wearing any, but this is very apropos because U.S. men's national team is first for me, but I love England. I love Argentina. I have a few I really love. So this is just my neutrality outside of the U.S. The U.S. should win everything.
Dude, Junior to Papa, I got to say that because before we started the show, I was telling Xavi, my wife's side of the family, all from Barranquilla, shout out to them. They're all Junior fans. The family Mundial chat that we have there, everybody's celebrating. So I'm excited for them. They have a winning team. I got my winning team in Ecuador.
Back-to-back champs.
And then you guys got, what's that player there? That's I feel like is 60 years old. Like he's been there for a long time. Dude, what is his name? What's your old player's name? Theo. Yeah, I mean that dude has been there for a long time. Teofilo, right?
And then Carlos Baca, both of them, they're ancient. Yeah, both of them are ancient already.
But do they start? I don't know. Do they or are they like?
No. Theo, like Baca was with her pretty much all season long, so he barely played. And then Theo played at some earlier in the season, and now he was just coming off the bench. And in the finals, he just played very few minutes. Like in this last game yesterday, they put him in probably I think 10 minutes just, for him to be in there. But he can still play.
That's like a Di Maria and Rosario, right? Kind of thing.
Well, no, Di Maria still has a lot more left in the tank. Like Di Maria.
But I mean, as far as like,
absolutely. Legend of the team, beloved by everyone from this, in the institution. Anyone who loves the team loves him. So yeah, but that's the team from Barranquilla. They back-to-back champs. And I think it's an up and coming team. They're doing a couple of things better, creating like a long-term project, I think, and I think the best is yet to come.
Hopefully Libertadores goes good for you guys.
Yeah, they're terrible. I mean, they did terrible this last one, and they invest a lot of money, but they were just terrible. So they need to finally win an international tournament to actually be considered a big club.
I had dreams for Inter Miami to be in Libertadores. We talked about that a lot.
I think it'll happen at some point.
Now, but
I think it'll happen.
Gotta win a Champions Cup, though. I mean, first, let's worry about that first, because if you don't win a Champions Cup and Conca Champions Cup, I mean,
you're not ready.
Yeah, exactly. That's the test right there.
Yeah, it's true. It's never done. Okay, all right. Well, there's so much to get into for this episode, and obviously we're gonna go through the bracket. So we're gonna be able to talk about every team in a bunch of ways. And there's a couple of topics I want to talk about. Obviously, Messi. This podcast is still, that is a huge part of what we are paying attention to, and just Argentina in general. I know the game is in 3 hours, and I can say I'll say I'm pretty confident he's going to be getting minutes today. So I think he's better. And so I think Argentina will be fine. And we can talk more about it then. But yeah, so yes or no, really quick, do we expect him to play tonight?
I would hope not. I don't know if I expect him to play, honestly. It just depends. I think there's nothing left for him to prove. I think he's got all the rhythm he needs. I don't think at this point in time you need to risk anything, in my opinion. And I won't go, not to go off into a big tangent, but I'll give you an example. Like Colombia just played against Jordan, and they basically played with everybody, with Luis Diaz. They played with Arias,
the whole starting team,
the whole starters. So you've got different approaches, right? Colombia was like, we just want to see what we got out there, full steam ahead. Ecuador played against Guatemala, and they played with Caicedo was on the bench, Hincapié was on the bench, Pacho was on the bench. Their big guns were on the bench. Now both teams won. But one team like Colombia knows more about what they got on the field. I feel like Ecuador felt like they already knew enough. They didn't want to risk it. So it just really comes down to that. Like what approach.
Paraguay too. I mean, you saw what happened with their star, right? So it's hard. You never know.
Their biggest star got hurt. But to be fair with Ecuador, the 3 guys that you mentioned are among the players with the most minutes played in all the world. As far as the amount of games and minutes they played, 2 of those 3 guys, I think. Hincapié, Caicedo, they've played a large amount of minutes, so they need rest.
Because hasn't Chelsea done the most in the last year, right?
And Arsenal was there, so they're in the list. I saw a list of a top 20 players.
Well, Arsenal and PSG. It was Hincapié with Arsenal and Pacho with PSG were in Champions final. So what Xavi's saying, they've gotten an intense amount of minutes, and that could definitely be a huge factor as well. Yeah.
Well, Messi, I think if he feels good, I think if he's good, they're gonna have to put him in 20-25 minutes because I think he's gonna tell them, hey, I need to get in there. Am I back? I just lost you guys for a second. Is that me?
No, we got you though. We got you. Yeah, I jumped for a second, but I agree. I think Gian, it's like he shouldn't, but I just think I don't think he's going to want to wait until the first World Cup game to play. It's just he never listens. He always wants to play, and knowing, the Argentina, they're the defending champions. I think there's mixed bag of expectations, which we'll get into again when we go to the bracket. But, I think it's a coin toss. I lean slightly toward he's going to play a little bit just to get his feet wet and play with the whole team before, even if just so that people don't talk about it for the next 3 days nonstop, just we'll see. But I think it'll be interesting, right? It'll be a coin toss. I don't know if anyone saw this say, this is nothing related to Messi, but I was thinking GOATs, and I'm like, did anyone see Serena Williams play today? I don't know if anyone saw clips of it, but she started doubles again, and randomly decided to do this after not playing for almost 4 years. And she was amazing. GOAT. You see it, she's 45 years old. Oh my God. She hit amazing shots. You would never know she was 45. It was actually crazy. She won. It's crazy.
It's a cyborg. It's a cyborg. It's AI.
The GOATs, man, they do something different.
They're built different. I mean, you see it now in various sports. I mean, we've seen it in boxing. We're seeing it in soccer. We're seeing it in baseball. We're seeing it where now the way they take care of their bodies, the way things are, or I don't know what else is happening, but people are lasting a lot longer at a higher level. I mean, and I'm talking about boxing. I think of Terence Crawford, an older boxer beating these younger guys, and you're talking about her in tennis. And you talk about Messi and Ronaldo in soccer, and there's Brady when he was playing football. He could have probably kept playing still.
Yeah.
So it's a growing trend in sports, and I'm glad because we get to keep these iconic players a little bit longer.
LeBron too. I mean, like, obviously you can
I
go back
forgot.
and
I
forth.
forgot LeBron.
But no, but think about it. Like, honestly, I was even saying this to, I was talking to maybe my mom or someone, like, similarly to how Messi right now, it's still like there's few teams in the world that wouldn't start him, like, because he's still so good. And even that, I'm not even sure. But like LeBron, the same thing. They're still top 10, top whatever in their leagues. Like, it's still playing at such a high level. And I just, man, you should look up Serena Williams after this pod. I swear it was wildly impressive. And that's for her standards. It was wildly impressive.
Wow.
But anyways, all right, cool. All right, well then let's get into it, because I know I have in this line, Messi, USA, dark horses, and I think we're going to be able to naturally talk about that as we go through the bracket. And as always, to anyone who's listening and tuning in, give us your thoughts as well. I thought last week we had a really great episode when we were going through those Inter Miami grades and everything like that. It was super interactive. It was super fun. I think we want to try to do that again, right?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if you guys follow along. We'll go into the brackets, and then chat, go ahead and let us know who you think is going to come out first, second, and even third in each bracket. And then we'll go ahead and move into the knockout bracket. In the group stages. Then we'll move on into the knockout bracket and then see who it looks like will be champion. I will say there's an economist. I was actually looking at him before we got on here. There's an economist that apparently has given the correct winner for 3 World Cups in a row.
What do you say?
Who did he say? Sorry,
he's wrong in this one. Yeah, I saw that.
I have a feeling he's going to be wrong in this one. And it's funny because he said his actual goal the entire time was to prove that there's no way that you can come up with a formula or any mathematical data to figure it out. And so far, he's gotten it right 3 times in a row. This time around, in case you haven't seen it, he said he picked
Holland. He picked Holland. Boss Daddy saying no, he picked Holland, not Portugal.
Not Portugal. He picked the Netherlands, really?
Yeah, and then they had like a friendly the next game against like a low ranked team, and they lost or something like that. Like, they did terrible.
That's funny.
I mean, he says one of the reasons why Holland is going to win is because he says offense wins matches, defense wins championships, and as the fan of a team that can't score for the life of them but defends great in Ecuador, that brought some happiness and joy to hear that, because Ecuador may be the first team in history to make it to the finals purely tying games. Yeah, so I hope they're practicing their penalties. But yeah, it's gonna be Holland according.
They got a guy that's old up top and still performs. Ecuador does.
Oh, Enel Valencia, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's not the Memo Ochoa type yet, where they have to defrost him every 4 years and pull him out of the freezer. But he's definitely up there.
Memo Ochoa was a great. What a great. I loved. Well, I mean, I hated it because a lot of it was against the U.S., whether it was CONCACAF or anything, and I was just like, how is this man still doing this? And it was crazy. But okay, yeah, all right. So, this is what I really want to say super, super quickly before we start Global Soccer Podcast. I think it's really important. We just really quickly send thoughts and prayers to Christian Eriksen. Obviously, we saw what happened with Denmark over the weekend. Unfortunately, looked like he suffered another cardiac arrest. And, without going in too far into it, it was amazing to see him come back after the Euros, right, and be able to play for Man United and do all these things. I'm hoping this is something where, thank God he was okay, and like, let's not try our luck 3 times. We'll have to see. It's obviously a shame that he couldn't bring, Denmark, like finish and go with Denmark one more time, but glad he's okay, right? I don't know if anyone had any other thoughts.
Maybe his pacemaker worked the way it was supposed to, and hopefully he, like you said, he thinks about it and just decides that it's family and his life is worth more than just continuing to play. I mean, he's a great player, but
at this point, right, you've already defied.
Just personally, I mean, you can't put yourself in his shoes, but personally, I he's got to hang it up and just live his life.
It's a different sport, but it reminds me a lot about like Chris Bosh, right? And the decision he had to make. You got to outweigh what's most important to you in your life. Yeah. So, but I'm just glad he's doing good and that pacemaker worked for him. So that's definitely a blessing. So good for him that he's doing well.
Yeah, agreed. You gotta know when to say bye. Colgar los guayos. I don't know what that means.
Hang your
Your
cleats.
cleats.
Hang up your cleats.
Oh, hang up your cleats. Okay, nice. I do know a lot of Spanish. Didn't know that. Okay, well, all right. I think we've gone through all of the housekeeping, and I think we are ready to officially start. So, Gian,
I
our
hope
tech
so.
master, what do we got?
All right, guys. This hasn't been thoroughly tested out, but it looked like it was working. So we tried to make an interactive group stage and bracket for you guys so we can go ahead and have some fun and pick. So the fun thing here is going to be like it's three of us. So we're going to have to try and agree here on who's coming out of each group and who the best thirds are going to be. So
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Majority
2 out of
wins.
3, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly.
David. Majority
So-
winning. And if we have something to say, if we want to talk more about one group than we do the other, similar to last week, if we have a lot to say about a player or something, we can just play it by ear.
Yeah, and I know a lot of us watch world football, so we're gonna have our, some info on some of these. But just in case, also added, if we hover over some of these, we should see some quick like hit items. What's this say? Just some background information. So obviously Mexico. We'll go ahead and start in Group A. Obviously Mexico, the co-host, their 18th World Cup, hosting a record third time, and they've pretty much the recent form. They've been good. They beat Serbia 5-1, 1-0 Australia. We've got South Korea. We've got South Africa, and we've got Czechia. I mean, I don't know who wants to start. I'll chime in, and then we can all go in.
Where's the final? Where's the final? Finals in the U.S., right?
The
MetLife
final,
Stadium.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
New York.
Imagine if it was
Jersey,
imagine if it was in Mexico, like Mexico '86 when Maradona won, and Argentina just happens to win in Mexico again now with Messi. That'd be crazy. But
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. All right, so Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and Czech.
And Czechia. Look, I mean, I think we all know a lot about Mexico, especially with the CONCACAF. South Korea, I think, has always kind of had a strong team. Obviously, we all know about Song Heung-min. They beat Trinidad 5-0 and El Salvador. South Africa World Cup 2010.
That was such a great goal. That first goal, remember that he scored, and I always think of Peter Drury's commentary, like, oh, great, go have chills from that. That was a sick World Cup, and the Vuvuzelas, remember that? That was epic.
Look, I don't know how you all feel about Vuvuzelas, but I'll say that and all of the bad things that we've heard from FIFA as of late with the ticket sales and all these crazy things, they finally did something right, and at least for me, and they banned Vuvuzelas this time around, and I am so thankful because I despise Vuvuzelas. I find them so annoying. I don't know how you guys feel. Do you guys like them? I hate them. Absolutely hate them. Call me a party pooper. I don't know.
Maybe if I was there, I'd be like, this sucks and it's too loud. But I don't know. I thought it brings a little atmosphere when listening, watching. But I understand why they couldn't do it.
All right. So what are we gonna guess here? First, second, and third.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think
this is a tough one. This is a tough one, and because the group seems so balanced, like I don't really see someone that sticks out. If somebody would stick out for me, it'd be South Korea.
Me too.
Based on the traditionally they're a team that goes at least to the second, past the group stage, and Mexico does the same thing, and then they lose. That's them. That's been their MO. Just, they pass the group stage and lose the first game. So
I think we can agree Mexico and South Korea are the top two.
Yeah.
In this group, but
I'm not so familiar.
I think South Korea could be first. I think South Korea will win the group.
I mean, you got They're playing in Mexico. You would hope that they step up for their people. But
I go Mexico first simply because they're co-hosts. That's why I give them the slight edge over South Korea. But you both are saying South Korea first over Mexico.
I think South Korea is gonna win their matches, and I mean obviously Son, but I do think in general they have a better team. I think Mexico right now it's gonna be just about emotions.
Some home cooking from the referees. You never know. So I'm not sure.
I'm going Mexico.
I'm gonna go Mexico with you against my better judgment. I'm gonna go Mexico. Just because the home field advantage. I think South Korea second. Now I'm stuck between Czechia, and South Africa. I don't have a lot of super familiar. I know South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, was the first host nation that did not get out of the group stage. I think when they
Qatar didn't also, right? But you said first, yeah. Yeah, I think
or maybe
so.
it was Qatar, or maybe it was Qatar. Then
No, I think we can keep it as 3 and 4. We don't need to go too in depth in that, unless you had anything.
South Africa, you got South Africa?
Same. I'm good with this one. I'm thinking it's Mexico, South Korea, and South Africa.
All right, we'll keep it as is. Boom. All right, let's go. Group B. Okay, now we're getting, I think, a little bit more interesting. Maybe, I don't know. I think
A little tougher.
Canada, host nation. Switzerland. I always think of Shaqiri, who played for Chicago Fire after he was at Liverpool and stuff. So, and he's done some good stuff. I don't know too much about the other two teams. I think probably we're gonna see Switzerland win. Like Canada and Switzerland are gonna advance. I think it's a pick 'em if it's first or second, like the first group.
I think you can't sleep on Bosnia, though. We have to, as I put here in the notes, you got to remember they beat Wales and they beat Italy. So, I mean,
that is true. That is true.
Team, but you know,
yeah. But are you gonna not do Canada or Switzerland? I mean, I know Canada didn't get out of the group last.
No, Qatar's last. We can agree.
Yeah. Qatar last.
That's what we say, and now watch the upset because it's funny. We have to see this as the NCAA March Madness. There's always going to be an upset. So, but I'm comfortable with, let's say, personally, I would do Switzerland, Canada, and Bosnia. And Canada, I'm just giving them the flip. This is me. I'm just giving them the flip because of home again. And I thought they were going to do better in the previous World Cup. I thought they had pretty solid. Maybe now with a little more experience, maybe they'll do too. So Switzerland, Canada, and Bosnia.
But you're giving Canada the slight edge because they're the co-hosts.
Yeah,
because I think Bosnia is a better team.
Players.
Probably more than likely. Also, we got to see how the weather is affecting some of these European teams over here. But Canada is not going to really be a Canada. Well, it is the summer. How hot is it over there? It's hot too, right? I have never been to Canada.
I think Vancouver and stuff can get. I think they probably honestly have pretty similar climates. Maybe Bosnia and Herzegovina, maybe a little colder, longer. But yeah, I mean, I think like this is how I see it edging right now. I just think Canada, again, host nation, and I think they've probably grown and improved over the last 4 years. Now they have better players. Like their best players, I think, are better than. I haven't watched Canada in a while, but I mean, I think you have Jonathan David, you have Alphonso Davies, like you have a few pretty good big players that I think will probably help move.
They might even take the group, but I like the way it is. The next one it's going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
As far as the order.
Woo! All right, now we're starting to talk. All right, let me start with something. I'm going to start with something. Scotland is a sneaky team because Scotland, I mean, from Andy Murray up, they have some Scott McTominay. They have some really good players, and I think a lot of the time they kind of have gotten the short end of the stick because they're playing. You know, when they've had to play, it's against England, it's against Wales, it's against Spain. You know, but Gareth Bale, all these things. I think
they got the short end on this group too because they got two.
This group is hard, but I'm just saying, like, I think Brazil and Morocco are clear, but if you see Scotland sniffing around and staying in some games, I wouldn't be surprised. Just a little. I mean, it's not close to those two. I guess I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I've watched Scotland probably more than most because I watch England so much and they played each other a lot, and they have a couple like absolute like huge stars on their team. You would think more of it. Like they have a lot of really like high quality players who play in Premier League and Serie A and like, you know, a lot of good leagues.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that it's going to be a fun atmosphere in all the Haiti games. I think it'll be cool to have them there. But as far as, you know, the technicality, the skills, the overall performance, Haiti's probably underneath our top three here. Brazil, I think we could probably all agree that they're going to top the league there. They really have an incredible team right now. And I think they're a lot better than the previous World Cup Brazil team, where a lot of players, I mean, some are very, I think, adamant about the fact that it was probably one of the worst Brazil teams that they've had in a long time. They didn't have any confidence. And some of the big players, I think even Ronaldinho was talking about how it was one of the worst
Look
teams.
at Xavi's suit in his picture.
And now
Yeah,
we have, I think, a really good Brazil team. Rodrigo, I think, is injured, so he's not going to be, unfortunately, he's not going to be playing. But you have Rafinha, plays in Barcelona. You have
Vinny
Cunha.
Jr.
Vinny Jr. is still there.
Hendrick,
you have
who scored the winning goal. Yep.
Marquinhos. I mean, you have a really, really good, strong Brazilian
Casemiro
team.
in the midfield, who's
Casemiro,
now
who could be
Inter
a
Miami
very soon Inter Miami player. So
yep.
I would agree that I think we all agree that Brazil is there. Then, you made some good, I think,
Will Neymar
points
start?
about Scotland, but Neymar, that's the thing. I don't think Neymar is going to start. I just don't think he's in shape, and he's actually still. He said it like I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before that he's not even ready to go. He's still nursing an injury, so we don't know if he's even gonna start. But still,
I hope he can play and do stuff. It's still fun. I like when the stars are still good.
Yeah, no, and Morocco has a great team. Hakimi, right back at PSG. We have Brahim Diaz on there from Real Madrid. Al Hilal's goalkeeper, Yassine Bono. So there's some really good players in Morocco. I think Morocco always has a really good team. What do you think? Is it Scotland over Morocco, or is it Morocco over Scotland? I think that's the bigger discussion here.
I think it's Morocco. I mean, I think they made it to the semifinal in the last World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, or the Euros. No, right?
Yeah, Morocco
the semifinals. They beat Portugal in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. No, I think it's and they had a really good showing in their friendlies this week. I think it would be honestly like disrespectful not to give it to Morocco. I'm just saying, as a UK resident and citizen, I'm telling everybody, don't be surprised if you see Scotland do better, like make some noise. I don't think they're going to get out of the group. I think it's a really tough group. Brazil and Morocco are absolute powerhouses, and we just talked about it. I mean, I agree with you. Brazil has looked great, and I think they're going to do better than they did in the last tournament for sure. And so it will be very interesting to see. So honestly, I think we leave it as is.
Yep. I am good with this one. All right. So Group D, the US, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. I think this is
a tough group.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tougher group, especially for the US. I think I'll let you talk a little bit more about the US, but like a team like Paraguay, for example, I think can kind of surprise a little bit in this group, simply because they're a South American team, a gritty team, a team that's going to play, bring that South American flavor, which is play with intensity, play physical, and mind games. There's a lot that South American mind games where they'll say things to you to get under your skin. They'll push you, they'll grab you, they'll pinch you, they'll do crazy things. And I think that they could be a dark horse within Group D. They qualified 6th in CONMEBOL, and their last game was they beat Nicaragua.
They did just lose their star, though, which is, it could be one of those things that either brings everyone together or it, makes it a little difficult. No, I agree. I think Australia, I remember in the last World Cup, they made it to the knockout round against Argentina, and it was a close game. I think they're maybe better than people think or know, because obviously it's pretty far. We don't really think about Australia. Turkey too. Like Turkey had has some actual really good players on it. I don't think though, but I think this is probably like fine. Let's talk about the US, and I wish Xavi was here. I hopefully he'll be able to jump on again in a second. The US. So I think, and I'm gonna just start and give my opinion. I understand that they lost to Germany, but let me tell you something, and especially that first game against Senegal, Mauricio Pochettino is a good coach. We're seeing some players play at a really high level right now. It looks like we're getting the best of Christian Pulisic again, which is when he's one of the best. He's a great player. He's an amazing representation of the U.S. our defense, we have Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson healthy. You know, I think the center backs, it will be interesting. Hopefully Chris Richards from Crystal Palace is available and ready to play. But, you know, like, yeah, Gio Reyna is one of the players that the club is back and forth, but like for the US, he's been pretty good when he plays. And I just think, you know, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, putting all these players together, you know, Balogun, I was really impressed with what I saw over those 2 games. I understand but Germany's ranked number like 4 or 5 in the world. Like, you got to understand, it's not like those are 2 difficult friendly games to play going into World Cup. Those are 2 very good opponents. And I overall was happy and impressed with what I saw, and it gave me the feeling that Pochettino will be able to get this team out of the group for sure.
Do you think Pochettino's heading to Milan?
Yes. Hopefully after the World Cup and after the US hopefully advances and keeps going. But yeah, I think you probably leave it as is. I mean, Paraguay, it's a tough thing in what they had. So if Australia goes ahead of them, I wouldn't be too surprised. I know the U.S. had a tough time with Paraguay when we played them in Copa America. Obviously, it was a big upset, but Tim Way got a red card. It was a not normal situation. And I think this U.S. team is worlds better and more competent and more together than they were 2 years ago for Copa America. And I was impressed. I liked what I saw. Could it be better? Sure. Could they have scored more? Sure. The goal by Anthony Robinson, I mean, that's a goal of a lifetime. Like, enjoy it, kid. But yeah, so I liked it. I liked what I saw. Well, what did you think?
Yeah, I think that the US, again, I've given the edge to Mexico, to Canada, and to the US because of the host cities. I think obviously the US, not only being a host city and playing in front of their fans, but also I think we talk about the weather, we talk about the climate here and how important it's going to be for these other teams to be able to play and deal with it, where the US already understands this climate. I mean, I was looking at the other day, I was looking at Holland laying out in the middle of the field, basically sun tanning, like trying to acclimate himself to how hot it is. And I think the US team is going to do well in that aspect. But as far as the performance wise, I just think that they've continued to get better. I saw the last friendly that they had, they looked good, even though, you know, they unfortunately didn't beat Germany, but still, I'm going to give them the edge on this one. I'm going to leave them at 1. And I think for me, Paraguay is second. And Turkey, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I think Turkey over Australia in the 3rd position. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could go either way. Could be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, so but I just overall, I really, all right. Well, we may have to jump back to the US for a second when we'll get Javi back in. But all right, let's keep going and then we'll go back. But I guess really quickly for the US, how far do you think they can actually go?
It's basically the luck of the draw. What I think is, one thing is making it out of the group stage, and then it's all really depends on who you face. I think even the best teams and the teams that have won the World Cup, they need luck on their side. And you look at Argentina. I think Argentina had a lot of luck winning the World Cup. They didn't face the teams that they had to face, and you know, it was. I think that's what you need for every team. So I think the US honestly will make it out. After that, they'll make it out of the group stage. After that, it's all on the luck of the draw to see if they make it into quarterfinals. They can definitely make it to quarters, but it depends soon. And I think we'll get a better picture of that in the knockout bracket, where we'll be able to see maybe some of the people that they'll have to face.
Totally. Javi, welcome back. Really quick. We went into the US a lot. So before we go into Group E, I had said that I had been really impressed with the last 2 matches. I know they lost against Germany, but I thought the overall performance, the level of play we're seeing from the players that we need to be good, and the coaching, the togetherness, the level, I was happy with what I saw, and I felt more positive about the US team than I had in the last 2 years. I thought it was a good showing.
Yeah, I see the previous bracket, Brazil, Morocco, Scotland. Yeah, that's probably the way I would have put it, maybe Morocco.
Has Brazil surprised you? I guess you can do that because we were saying we thought similarly to the US. I thought the Brazil team looks really good. Maybe it's going to be better than we thought. Definitely better than they were in the last World Cup.
I won't underestimate Morocco though. They've made huge strides and they've been very strong side. So it's a toss up for me between 1 and 2. But I think Scotland definitely will be third and Haiti, will stay. But Haiti could be a surprise. But I think that's the bracket. You were talking about United States, Paraguay, Turkey. I think Turkey is a little better than third. I think.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, and
over Paraguay,
especially Paraguay, they had like a moral letdown with their best player getting hurt right before. But it could be an opportunity for somebody else. Paraguay is a solid team. I really like them. The United States is the one, like you guys say, they could be first or they could be third. With them, you don't know what you're going to get. I know.
Did you like what you saw?
Absolutely, the talent is there, but I don't know. We got to see the consistency. We'll see. We'll know after the first game, right? We'll know after the first game. But I think that's we've been giving the benefit of the doubt to the home teams. So why not give it to
that's what Gian said too. Yep, agreed. I again, it's a bias. I obviously want them to do well. I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw from the U.S. this window. I think they showed guts. They showed a lot of the energy, the pressing, what they're being asked to do. They did it at a good level, and so I like what I saw. We'll see, but I like what I saw. All right, Group E, Gian, Cook.
Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. This is where my beloved Ecuador team sits. I, for one, think it is at a tie between one of the 2 toughest groups, I think, in this World Cup. I think the other one is going to be, where was it? Let me look at it. Where's the other one? Probably France, Senegal, Norway. I think is probably one of the other tougher ones there. But look, Germany is Germany. I think they've always been a tough opponent. They may not necessarily be at their best now, I don't think, but they've got plenty of really good players. You think about Olise, that's one of my favorite players right now that I love to follow. He's excellent.
Olise I think that's France. Michael Olise?
Not Olise. Not Olise. What's his name?
I was confused.
Musiala. Yeah, thank you. Musiala just plays amazing for that team, and they're the toughest. Curacao, I think this is the first time they ever make it to the World Cup, so that's great for them. Honestly, I think that's an honor for them. They'll enjoy it. It's just an incredible experience.
Great teams.
Totally.
They're going to be playing against 3 great teams.
But it's unfortunate for them that they've got those 3 teams in front of them. So look, I mean, we'll talk about the top 3, but I think we can all agree that Curacao, unfortunately, is not going to make it out of this one. Ivory Coast is a good African team. Costa de Marfil. They won the CAF Group F, reigning AFCON champs 2023, and they beat France 2-1. This is the thing that kind of scared me. It was the 2-1 when I saw that. I think all Ecuadorians were kind of nervous once they saw them beat France, but I will say that I think that France kind of dominated them in the first half, and then in the second half, when some of those subs came in, that is where you saw a bit more from the Ivory Coast and where they were kind of scoring and doing their goals. And then Ecuador. Ecuador, to me, is, it's been referred to as a dark horse by many. And I think that, for me, Ecuador is probably positioned to go pretty far. Again, depending on the luck of the draw, they can make it into a quarterfinals depending on what happens once they get out of the group. But look, Ecuador, the top defense in all of South America. I believe they only let in 5 goals during the entire eliminatorias. But the problem with them is that they don't have forwards up front. And I always joke with my wife, Xavi, I say if we can create one team between Colombia and Ecuador, I think we would win the World Cup. Ecuador's defense with Pacho Hincapié in the back and Joel Ordóñez and Moises Caicedo with a Luis Diaz and a John Arias up front is nobody's stopping that team. But is up front. So I'll end with this. I honestly, I'll let you guys vote me out of this one between you two, but I honestly think this is how it goes. I think
I agree.
the most important one here is Ecuador, Ivory Coast, which is the first game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised. Yeah, I was gonna say Germany even finishing third, but because they're power,
Really?
but they're coming. Yeah, remember they didn't have a great cup, the last one. Ecuador didn't have a great one because they were going in highly touted, and then they got out in the group stage. So I think they're ready to not to let that happen again.
So did Germany, though. They got out of the group stage last time too.
But Germany is, that's what I'm saying. I think they might go third. But Germany is a team that has tradition, so they're dangerous. They're dangerous. We can leave it like that, but yeah, I think Ecuador really does have a chance. Even Ivory Coast. I don't think Germany finishes first in the group.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Ecuador, it's been a good team. We've seen, obviously, they have a lot of best players. I think we agree Moises Caicedo is the best player in his position right now in the world, and a few, really great world-class players. So I agree. We'll give it to Ecuador, and we'll see how it goes.
Great. I think that it'll be a tough group. I think honestly it's between Ecuador and Germany, even though Ivory Coast can surprise people, and they're a good team, but this could go any way, these top two. Group F: Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. There's the Netherlands,
the future champ.
The future champs, according to The Economist, as predicted.
A German economist. It was a German economist, right?
I believe so. I believe so. So we've got Netherlands. We've got Van Dijk, Gakpo, Xavi Simons, Depay. Memphis Depay, I believe, is playing in Brazil right now. Xavi Simons
is injured, unfortunately, towards ACL. But yeah,
Gakpo, great, but as of late they haven't played that good. They lost 0-1 against Algeria, but they did beat Uzbekistan 2-1. I mean, there's not a lot to go by there. Those are teams you kind of expected them to beat both, even though they did lose against Algeria. Japan, I always like these Asian teams. I think they always do good, and if they don't, they've got sick jerseys. I'll say that. I love Japan.
And they clean up. They clean up at the stadium. They leave. They
do. That's true. They do clean up the stadium. Clean. So, but they won their Group C, and they absolutely whooped China 7-0 and 6-0 Indonesia. Honestly, I don't know enough about the Chinese and Indonesian teams to say if that's a big feat or not, but I mean, I still think you got to be pretty good to score 13 goals in 2 games against two opponents. So
yeah,
Sweden, I think honestly, you look at Gyökeres, for example, like they've got a pretty good team there. 2-2 against Greece, lost 1-3 against Norway. Norway's a beast of a team, by the way. And then we've got Tunisia, who won their Group H, and a historic note, they've never escaped the World Cup group stage. So
yeah,
they're not going to do it this time either.
Not going to do it this time either. Yeah, I will say really quick. I mean, I think Netherlands is the best team in this division. I think Netherlands is a scary team in general, and you just never know what you're going to get. But they have such high world-class quality players that I think that they're going to win the group handily. I think it's honestly probably pretty close between Japan and Sweden. I wouldn't be surprised if either team advance. And maybe this is just biased based on what I see in the Premier League and primarily watching Europe. I've seen more Swedish players, and like you said, Gyökeres, there's a few others where it's a team of some vets and some high quality players. I'm going to give them the edge over Japan, and I think this is how I see it. What about you, Jav?
It's a tough one. Like you said, it's a toss-up between Japan and Sweden. Japan is always there. They're always there, and they're consistent. They're always fighting.
Sweden, though, is a good team, right? No? Like, they have a lot of good players. They've done well.
What does Gian say about Sweden and Japan?
Yeah, no, I think that Sweden has really good players, and I think that, like I said, I think the Asian teams, and specifically talking about Japan and Korea, those teams I think have always looked good, and and I always feel like they can make noise in the group stages. I like Sweden probably over Japan because I just think that they have some really like good players.
Let's leave it that way.
Alexander, they have Victor Gyökeres, they have Alexander Isak, who's on there. Victor Hedman,
goal scoring power, a lot of scoring power.
Nylander, like there's I think they've got a better team than Japan, at least name wise. So that's why I'm giving
that's a good way. We can agree with that. 1, 2, 3.
Agreed. Yeah. All right, let's keep going because we got a few more we got to get through. This one, I
think it's already in order.
It's already in order. I think it's already in order. Belgium, obviously, I think the golden generation has passed. Didn't probably achieve what they hoped to. I mean, you still
Iran and Egypt could flip, but
we got Egypt looked decent when they played a few days ago. I think didn't they play against Brazil? No, I may be wrong on that. I saw Egypt play a little. Mo Salah come off the bench.
2-1, and then they beat Russia 1-0.
Yeah, I think they looked pretty good. I think I think this probably can leave it. I don't have too much to add. I mean, we'll see De Bruyne, we'll see Lukaku.
It's going to be a shame for Tim Payne to go out in the group stage,
but he got his following, so he'll never have to do it again. Yeah.
I mean, he's a winner. I think we can all agree.
He already won. He already
won.
He already won in life.
He won the hearts. I agree. All right, so I think we all agree with Belgium. All right, Group H. I think Spain and Uruguay are going to be the two teams coming out. I think it's also a little bit like similar to Group G. It'd be a pretty big surprise if it didn't go this way. Spain, obviously, they won the Euros. They have an absolutely insane team too. To some, the favorites to win. Obviously, you have Lamine Yamal, who's one of the best players in the world. You have, you have Gavi, you have Pedri. You have, or maybe not Gavi. I think you.
One of the favorites to take it all. There's no doubt about that. Here is where maybe one of the small teams, Cape Verde, could actually sneak into the next
over
round.
Uruguay.
No, not over Uruguay. I mean, as a third place. Remember that you get some of the best third place qualified. No, not over Uruguay.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I mean, Jan, what do you think about it? I mean, Uruguay is also one of those teams where they just have like a lot of. I mean, there's no Luis Suarez, and I actually think it's kind of crazy, but obviously they have a lot of really, really, really good players, and I think they'll be just fine.
They're always
a fun team to watch. I think I like watching, and I love the blue jerseys.
Spain's definitely the favorite. So at least from what I've seen with the pundits and the different shows, and I think even the odds are probably the highest for Spain right now to win. As you said, they've got an incredible amount of quality. You name some of those players: Pedri, Cubarsí, Gavi, Ferran. I'm naming. It's funny. You can tell I'm a Barca player. I just
Barcelona. I was saying you're naming Barcelona players.
Yeah, but and then Uruguay. I think again going back to what I said about Paraguay, just that not only are they a good team regardless, but I just think that South American flair again and the grittiness and being able to do those extracurricular things that maybe other teams don't do, right? To get inside their head, I think definitely is going to help them be at the top of that group along with Spain. And then Capo Verde, I think that they qualified better than Saudi Arabia, I think from the quick research that I did. So I think Capo Verde probably going to come in third over Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia can surprise.
Saudi Arabia always has the fact that they beat Argentina in the first game of the last World Cup. But yeah, I agree. All right, let's get to what is going to be, I think, is probably universally considered the group of death. To your point, though, Gian, there's a couple groups that overall have had, it's pretty close, but yeah, so we have obviously France, who's been to the last two World Cup finals, won one of them, was very close to winning the other, is the best, considered the best team in the world. You obviously have Kylian Mbappe leading it. And And then you have Senegal, who had Sadio Mane, who we just saw against the US, but didn't do that great of a performance. You have Iraq, which I don't obviously know too much about their team. And then you have Norway, who with Martin Odegaard and Erling Haaland, you have some pretty strong players who can change games and make a difference. And so I'm going to start. I think Norway's going to finish about in second. I think Senegal may just get outrun. I mean, maybe not, but I mean, France, I think, is 100% winning the group. It's now just kind of similarly, I think, to where we said with like Sweden and Japan. I could see a world where Norway wins, and I could see a world where Senegal wins. I'm going to give the edge to Norway.
Man, I mean, this France team is honestly incredible. Like, just an incredible team. You guys, their front is scary. I mean, you talk about Mbappe, Dembele, Thuram from Inter. Like, I mean,
yeah, Dembele. I mean, it's crazy. They have an unlimited amount of superstars.
Ryan Kerky from Man City, Emery from PSG, Kante from Fenerbahce. Like, it's just an incredibly deep and like fast and attacking team. I think that for me, they're one of the favorites to win alongside Spain, right?
Don't even forget Olise, like you said earlier.
Olise,
he's been amazing.
Olise, that is just that front. That front is just insane. And then Norway, I think you said it too. Odegaard, you've got Haaland, you've got players that are in top flight Premier League teams. So the quality between France and Norway, I think, are levels above Senegal and Iraq. And then for me, I've always liked Senegal as a team that can make a bit of noise. So I definitely see them coming out as third over Iraq. But France and Norway, by far the top two in that spot. And it's just crazy. Like, I think one of the temperature measures of the quality in a team, if you just with the accessibility that we have nowadays with being able to watch so many Premier League games with Peacock and other outlets, it's just like you see so many players in Premier League in these teams, right? Again, in France and Norway and at least for me, that's like when I can tell if a team is good. And for me, France, Norway by far.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's. Oh, Javi, anything to add?
No, I can live with that. I can take that.
All right. Now, Group J. Let's talk about the team that we all, I'm sure, have an opinion on, which is Argentina. Overall,
probably differing opinions. I'll say I'm excited to hear you guys' opinions.
Yeah, I think they got a pretty good draw as it relates to teams in general. To be fair, Algeria, actually, like to your point, they had a good game against the Netherlands, right? They looked good. I think Jordan, Austria used to have, I think, a lot of big names, doesn't really anymore as much, and so a few. But I think Austria will advance, but I think it's going to be.
I don't think so.
No, you think Algeria is going to advance over them, or Jordan?
I think Jordan. Colombia just played Jordan in their last friendly match, and I was a little bit surprised at how tactically strong they were. They did really? Park the bus. They parked the bus basically. I mean, they put everybody in the back and made it really tough for Colombia, but they were very aggressive and kind of rough. And I think they're gonna be the third place team here over Austria. I think they're gonna give these teams to the last day to see who's gonna get in, and I think that they're gonna make it.
Not Jordan over Algeria?
Yeah, over Austria. Algeria, I think, is fine where they're at, and I think obviously Argentina first.
Okay, that works for me. Okay, Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina definitely going to top the group on that one. We'll have to see what they look like after. It'll be interesting to see what Messi does in this World Cup, right? I think that at least on the MLS level, he's looked like he just continues to age perfectly, get better. But what does that look like on the international stage in a World Cup? It'll be interesting to see. I think up front he's probably going to play with Thiago Almada, and maybe what's his face? What's his other forward?
Julian Alvarez.
Julian probably. It'll probably be Julian and Thiago up front, and then Messi just freed up as always. But I don't know. I'm curious to see. In all honesty, I don't think that they win the final this year. I think that would be extraordinary for that to happen. But correct me if I'm wrong. There's a chance that they will get far though, because of the rule that FIFA implemented, where they can't face the top teams until what is it, like the quarter or semis, something like that. Where they're not gonna face a France or like a Spain. Do you guys know what I'm talking about or no?
No.
So okay, so there's this rule, and it was kind of controversial that FIFA, when they did the draw, I don't know if you saw, they put them in a certain, like, let me see if I can look it up. If you guys want to keep discussing, I'll look it up right now. But basically, they're not gonna face the toughest, like the toughest teams aren't gonna be able to face each other until the semis or the quarters. Let me look it up really quick here.
I don't know. I don't know if it's you said rule, like a rule. I know that once they do the brackets, it's purposely put out that way so the toughest teams face each other in the later rounds. But I've never heard anything about a specific rule.
Look, here you go. For the first time in World Cup history, FIFA implemented a rule for the 48-team tournament that forces the 4 highest-ranked countries in separate halves of the tournament bracket. So they took the top 4 teams in the FIFA ranking and they put them in different areas so that they won't face each other until what did we say? Until so assuming the top seeds win their groups, this new system guarantees the following: the final, the number 1 ranked team Spain and the number 2 Argentina cannot face each other until the final. And then the semifinals, the number 3 France and number 4 England are also locked in separate pathways. This ensures France and England will not meet Spain or Argentina until at least the semifinals. So again, the top 4 teams are not going to meet until at least the semis, and the top 2, Argentina and Spain, will not meet each other unless they meet in the final. I hated that. I think I can see why some people like it, because they're like, okay, at least it guarantees from an entertainment perspective that you're going to see, the top teams aren't going to knock each other out early. But I think from a purely like a purity of the game and integrity, I just think I think it's wrong. I don't think that teams should be guaranteed that they're not going to face the best until a certain level. That's my opinion.
It's part of the show. It's part of like the Americanizing of the product of the FIFA, because this is what's done in every major sport here, right? The brackets are set in a manner where the top seeds avoid each other. I mean, that's not anything new for us here, but it is new for them. You know what? A Spain Argentina final, or you guarantee me something like that. I can see the benefits of that, right? But also, what do you think if you had, let's say, like a terrible final, like
I know. I just think about the integrity, and look, I'll share. I guess my personal.
There's not much integrity anymore in FIFA. Well, I'm sorry I said that.
No, but that's funny. It's like we're talking about integrity as if that hasn't been thrown out the door already for FIFA. But look, from a personal perspective, I honestly only wanted Argentina to win last time because of Messi. Right? And I think that now that Messi has won, to me, it's like ni fu ni fa. Like I would rather see somebody else win than Argentina.
First time, I want to see a first time team win it. A first time. And the thing is that Argentina represents South America. It becomes a point where it's South America versus Europe. I was going for them because it was South America versus Europe, because of Mbappe's big mouth saying how Europe is better, the soccer is better in Europe, and blah blah blah, and all this crazy stuff he talked before the World Cup, and then it happened to be where they lost, and they really had the game in hand at one point, and they just they lost. Argentina took it from them.
Yeah, I agree. I think as we go through we get further and further, we'll probably say a little bit more under Argentina. But I will say, look, man, they're battle tested. They've won, over the last 4 years, 3 major international tournaments in a row. And Messi is still Messi. We've seen it. I think
the last tango.
Yeah, I think we still see like the team just works well together. They've all played together for so much in such intense situations. Um, Never gonna rule them out until until the fat lady sings. Okay, Group E. So why don't we let Javi? We let you start because it obviously has Colombia in it. What are your thoughts?
On that, I mean, everybody has Portugal as the top team, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. And Colombia has never really won anything important, so I'm just thinking, if this is a generation that's gonna change anything, if this is a generation that's gonna start a process, I feel like the next generation for Colombia that's coming up is gonna be really, really stacked with some of the guys that are still here now that are young enough that might make it. But if this is a generation that's going to do something, I want them to finish first. You're not going to agree with me. I want them to finish first over Portugal. I think they go into that game with, everything on the line. And
Okay.
I'm just, because there's upsets. I'm gonna hope that that's the upset, because with Colombia is usually the other way around. They're the ones that get upset or they get screwed or they screw themselves. So this time I'm just gonna be optimistic and say, you know what? Get them first, just the way you have it there. Just the way you have it there. Colombia, Portugal, and Congo.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I
Congo
agree. I
could be a
think,
surprise.
I'll give it to you, Javi. I'll give it to you as
Colombia can be first or they can be third in this group. That's how terrible they are that you can't figure them out. But I'm gonna pick them first.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they have obviously some very good players. Luis Diaz is what we probably I think is starting as a really strong player, but there's a ton of talent. We'll give it to you, Javi, representing Colombia. Sorry, someone's like doing something on my roof. Colombia, I think Portugal is actually I'm kind of putting them in the dark horse category, where I think obviously, people say Ronaldo, think Ronaldo. Taking Ronaldo out of the equation, even, I mean, you have Bruno Fernandes, you have Bernardo Silva, you have so many I mean, think about, like, you have Nuno Mendes, you have just really, 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 really talented players. They're a stacked team too, where their starting lineup,
and they play beautiful soccer.
And their bench too is really strong, and I think they're going to go far. They can be second in the group. I'll give you that. But I think they're gonna go far.
And then Gian and I picked with our hearts, because if you look at it, we picked our teams over.
Me too. I did too.
Over powers. Yeah, but at least USA is not in like a bracket where you have a former world, FIFA champion.
True.
Well, Portugal hasn't been a champion either, but they're
Euro
consistent,
champion, yeah.
Consistent. Well, yeah, I mean FIFA World Cup, but they're consistent top team. In Europe, they usually do pretty good.
Yeah.
I always have faith in Colombia, honestly. Like I feel like
they break your heart. Then they break your heart. That's the problem.
They do, but sometimes I feel like they outperform some of the expectations too. Like I don't know. I think it goes both ways. I don't know. I have a father-in-law that's super negative on them, and maybe that's why I feel like they outperform. He's always like, I mean, they get scored on one, like it's 1-0. Colombia gets scored on, and he's already like, screw these people, they suck, and he gets pissed. And I'm like,
that's the fan base. That's the fan base.
But I like reasoning tells me probably Portugal should come out in first, but I think. Do I think I'd be completely surprised if Colombia comes out first? No. Like I think they have a team that can perform well against Portugal, because hey, look, maybe they tie Portugal, right? And then they beat Congo, they beat Uzbekistan, maybe Portugal does the same, but because of goal difference, Colombia comes out. Like there's ways that Colombia can make it out first. They can beat Portugal. It can happen. But now if you told me Congo, Uzbekistan was in first, that's different. Colombia, I'm not freaking out. I think Colombia can come out first in that group, and I hope my wife is watching, because
she was. Yeah. She had put something about doing it to Papa. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, okay. So, and we'll see kind of how that plays out. All right, finally, Group L. I think we probably don't have to spend too much time on it. I don't know if you agree. It's probably the order and it's in now is probably how it's going to end up. I will say, like I've said it many times, I lived in England. England's very important to me. They're who outside of the US I really root for. When I get to watch them play, I think they're not, it's not considered a dark horse because I know they're ranked in the top 4 and they're supposed to be very good, but I think people similarly to Colombia feel like they get disappointed a lot with England in these world tournaments. But I'll tell you what, Harry Kane right now is playing like one of the best players in the world. He's obviously one of the best strikers. He's playing more than that. Jude Bellingham, we're seeing just a lot of
stacked team, a very stacked team,
a really stacked team, a team who's played together a lot. I mean, there are some changes from the last tournaments, but you have some like Jordan Henderson. You have people who really bring the team together. You have a really high level of play, strong players everywhere. I hope we see the best we've seen.
Yeah, I agree with this. England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. So I don't have anything to do. And England's
Croatia's not what they were, but still good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
All right. So
wow, okay.
We'll do this quickly. So basically it'll just show the thirds from each one. So I'm just gonna auto-populate that because I don't want to take an hour going in through one. So this is just random. There's literally no way to figure this out.
Right.
That's fine.
All right. So Ecuador, Japan.
Ecuador.
This one. All right. Thank you. France, Turkey. I think we can all agree.
France.
All right. So then we've got South Korea, Canada. What are we thinking?
South Korea.
Canada.
Oh, really? Okay, Gianni decided.
Upset.
Yeah, I'm going Canada on this one. Again, I'm sticking with the home cook in there. And then we got Netherlands, Morocco.
Really tough match. I'm going to give it to Netherlands, but it wouldn't be surprised either way. It's a tough match early in the tournament.
Morocco.
I'm going Netherlands on this one.
Oh,
I think it has to be Netherlands. All right, Portugal, Croatia.
Portugal.
I think Portugal. All right, Spain, Algeria. I think
Spain.
United States, Senegal. I think that's going to be tough for the U.S.
U.S. They just beat them. Got to do it again.
But they didn't beat them with all their
That's going to be tough, but okay. Well, I think we're still early on enough where we can stick with the home cooking. Later on, that may be tougher. All right, Belgium, South Africa.
Belgium. How did South Africa pass?
I don't know. No, we're going with Belgium there. All right, so we got on this side Brazil, Sweden. I think Brazil. All right, here's the tough one: Germany, Norway.
Norway.
I'm actually going Norway too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Norway.
Mexico, Capo Verde. I think
Mexico better.
Mexico. Hopefully, Mexico.
They cannot. Capo Verde made it out of the group. Unbelievable.
All right, England. I think so. We've got that. All right, Argentina, Uruguay.
Oof.
It's going to be gnarly, but Argentina.
You go Argentina. I could see Argentina losing though on this.
They're not going to lose this early. I just don't. I think that God is like still.
I can see it happening. I can see it happening, and Messi's hurt or something happened, and they lose to Uruguay, 2-1, 1-0. Let's go Uruguay. What the hell?
I'm doing Uruguay there. Sorry.
Oh my God, you guys! Argentina is gonna make it so far. All right.
I think Uruguay can beat Argentina.
We're gonna be the worst picks ever. So
that's a crazy choice, but we'll see.
And when it happens, you're gonna you guys are geniuses.
Yeah, but so all right.
Paraguay, Egypt.
Ooh, now you're going crazy now. I don't think Egypt will beat Paraguay, but let's go Egypt. Eliminating all our.
I was thinking Paraguay, but okay.
I think so too, but it's just they lost
Paraguay.
that.
Do Paraguay.
They lost that guy, and I don't know how they're.
That's true too. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. Honestly. All right, Switzerland, Ivory Coast.
Switzerland.
Shall we get Switzerland? I was gonna go Ivory Coast. Get one of my African teams in there.
I'm going Ivory Coast on this one too.
Oh, we're just
going. I can't believe you didn't choose Argentina.
Against everything that Ashley's saying. We're tag teaming. We're not letting her pick.
Argentina is not making it out as a crazy choice.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Like the Uruguay team.
All right, do
is
we switch this out? Do we switch it out? Do
I
we go
mean, guys,
Argentina,
Argentina's
Uruguay?
ranked in the top 4 teams. Like
All right.
Uruguay
You
doesn't have a
don't think
golden
Uruguay can
generation
beat them?
anymore.
Didn't Uruguay beat them in South American qualifiers?
Did they? I don't know.
They had already won. I'm
I'm gonna go. I'm
No,
gonna go on the record with saying I think Uruguay can beat Argentina, but I'm just
think
gonna
so
go
too.
Argentina. I'm gonna go Argentina for the sake
You let Ashley's bullying get to you.
yes.
But it needs to be because we're gonna choose Argentina over the next team. Like we're gonna choose Argentina over Egypt. Like come on, like let's be. I mean, it could be an upset. I would say they're interchangeable in the sense that like
but that
what happens
meeting-
to Argentina
that
in the
meeting
next
will be
round and stuff
terrible.
is gonna be it would be
Argentina,
the same for Uruguay.
in that round is terrible. They'll kill each other. They're gonna destroy each other. So whoever gets through is gonna be.
I just think they've shown winning DNA. They've won these
Oh,
last 3
100%.
tournaments. Like it'd be hard to. Uruguay is good, but I would think it's gonna take a
you
top
bullied
team to knock
him.
them
You
out.
bullied him. That's okay. He's
Okay,
fine.
good.
No, she
Let's
did,
keep going.
All
got
right,
it.
so on back to this side. This Ecuador France. That honestly, that luck of the draw is awful.
It's a lot better matchup. I think
Yeah.
it'll be a close game. I think it's like a 2-1 game, but I think France.
I
pulls
think
it out.
France too, but I it's a tough draw. But if you want to take
But Ecuador has a
I
chance. They do
understand,
have a
but
chance.
yeah,
If anybody from South America has a chance, it's them because they have the
because
type of
that's
speed and the type of defense that they have.
It's an insane defense versus an insane offense. But okay, so France and then Canada, Netherlands.
Netherlands. There. That's as far as Canada gets for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Portugal, Spain. Oof.
Spain, but it'll be a good match. It'll be a good match.
You know what? It's Spain, and it's a goal from what's his name, Lamine.
Yeah.
Lamine Yamal. All right,
I think so
Spain,
too. I think it'll be
US,
really
Belgium.
close, though. I think it'll be really close.
Didn't Belgium put 5 on the United States in a friendly game?
Yeah, but I'm taking the U.S. Sorry. It's a bad pick. I don't care. If you guys want to say Belgium over it, you can. I understand, but I just was really wildly impressed.
You're really wildly impressed. I think the U.S. could. You know what? Let's go U.S. as another upset.
Oh wow! Okay.
That no one's gonna see coming, and because they're gonna get spanked by Spain next week.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, let's give it to them. They can make it to the quarters. It'd be sick.
Ooh,
Brazil, Norway.
Brazil, but it'll be a hell of a game.
Oof, that's a beautiful game. Yeah, I'm gonna go Brazil based on the tradition, but Norway's a surprising team.
All right, here we go. Argentina, Egypt.
Argentina.
I'm gonna go Egypt. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Then we got Ivory Coast, Colombia. I'm taking Colombia.
I think Colombia is gonna do that. I think they can do that.
All right, so we go back to this side. France, Netherlands. I'm going France on this.
I'm going France too. It's hard to see them losing to not a like.
This is where it ends. I'm sorry.
Spain, I agree.
Spain 6, US 1.
I agree. But the US made it to the quarterfinals, so vamos.
Okay.
All right. Wait, what are we missing? Oh, Mexico, England. We forgot that one.
England.
I think England slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly.
All right. So now we go Argentina, Colombia.
You guys are gonna go against me, but I'm gonna say Colombia has been close so often, and they've been made fun of by Argentina so many times that this is gonna be the one time where they actually take them out. So I'm gonna go out Colombia.
I'll give it to you.
I can understand Argentina, but I think this will be like the one time that they're gonna do something.
Maybe.
I agree. I'm going Colombia, and that would be history.
You knock out the team that beat you in Copa America, a team that traditionally.
And that's the farthest they would have ever made it. They made it to quarterfinals in 2016.
Right. So I'm hoping they make it to a semis now.
All right, Brazil, England. I think that's a really tough one for me.
I think England.
I think it's really tough too. I'm going biased and I'm saying England. Brazil probably should or could win, but England, I'm hopeful. I'm hoping, I'm praying. They have Thomas Tuchel. They have a coach who knows how to win and win, Champions League and all that stuff. And I'm gonna give him the edge. Fingers
All right, I
crossed.
would have gone Brazil, but I think it's a toss-up there. England, Colombia. Okay.
This is the first time Colombia's going to make a finals. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so let's go to this side. France, Spain. I think for me, the two obviously favorites.
The two favorites of the tournament.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Spain because I like it more, and I'm sick of France winning. And I know Spain just won the Euros, but I'm sick of France. So give me Spain.
I think Spain too.
Same.
It's that speed for France. It's gonna be tough, but let's go.
And then we've got England, Colombia.
Wow, that Colombia's gonna play Spain in the final.
I think I'm gonna say England.
It's a rematch. England took out Colombia in what World Cup was that? Was it 2018? Yes, 2018, right?
Yeah.
A very
in the penalty.
So you're both going with your
This
heart.
is Colombia's revenge tour.
You're
right,
both going with
Keanu?
your heart on this one. So I mean, I've got to be the deciding factor here.
No, you have to go with your. But
Your gut.
I feel so more optimistic now that Colombia, if they get to this point, they're in the final. But I'm scared that they might even not get out of the group. But if they make it to this point, they're in the final.
Jeez. All right. I'm going Colombia here. I have to do it.
Just because of your wife.
I'm going,
Yes,
but
good job.
but
He's a
also
smart man. We made Spain, Colombia. I think that would be a fantastic final. And all Spanish final, Spanish-speaking final.
Yeah, it would.
And then there. That's where it ends. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand Spain being the. We did beat them in a friendly match, but I can understand in the real thing maybe losing. Yeah. But I'm gonna pick them to win. So I cannot believe Colombia has just won the first World Cup.
I
look fantastic.
Look, Colombia in a final.
Junior Miami champ, junior champ, Colombia champ. Wow, what an amazing year!
I love it. I mean, look, I think, I think we can all probably see a world where Spain wins this World Cup. It would make sense. They are the favorite. I will say, look, there's a couple of things here earlier where like you could see an Argentina winning over Colombia. You could see a Portugal winning over Spain on any given day. You know, you could see a couple different alternatives where you would see maybe a little bit of a different final. But if you're asking me like doing this like 8 or 9 times out of 10, this is probably what you're going to get with Spain winning. But you know, there are a few other teams that I think like you could see in England in a final. You know, you could see Argentina in a final. Wouldn't be surprised. Could see Portugal in a final. Wouldn't be surprised. You could see France. Wouldn't be surprised. Right. So there is, I think it will be, there's a lot of parity in this World Cup. There's a lot of opportunity. And I think it'll be, at least I know there's a lot of stuff going on overall with America and the hosting and the, you know, the weather and the this and that and the, you know, I get it. But in terms of what we're going to see on the field, I think we have a lot of really elite teams in the world. You know, it's not just 1 or 2 and then the rest. There's 4 or 5, you know,
6, 7,
teams you could even see being champion. And I think to me, that's pretty great.
So the biggest surprise would have been Colombia if this actually happened. This would be crazy. Imagine if this actually happens. This show would go down in history.
No. You see these buttons here? It says export. I'm gonna export this. We're gonna keep it just
so we can remember. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, for sure.
Let the record show you guys didn't think
we went with our hearts.
Gonna,
we went with our hearts.
Like go out of the
I went with my heart, but I went with the romanticism of the World Cup and the upset and the revenge factor and all these things that are very possible. You know, it's not like Colombia has never beat Argentina before. You know, it's happened.
Right. Yeah.
So it happened in this qualifiers too. So the possibility is there.
And the final, the Copa America final, I thought was super obviously even and really good.
Colombia should have won. They should have won. I mean, and I'm not saying anything crazy.
That's what I'm saying with Argentina. They still feel like they have like the hand of God kind of leading them a little bit, you know, like
they have the will.
They did it for a while, and now it just feels like cosmic energy, you know.
Yeah, I respect their belief, but also they have a very strong will to compete, and that's awesome. That's one of the things that sets them apart. Plus, the fans are fantastic, or amazing. You know, I love that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, think about even how much better like Enzo Fernandez and like Thiago Almada are than they were 4 years ago, right? And like we're Messi, it's still okay, cool. All right. I think this was really good. I think we should probably try and do a group episode, an episode after the group stage, maybe seeing how close we were to our predictions.
Send me that export because I'm gonna follow that to the team, see how much on target we are or how off we are. I mean, it's a dream. That would be a dream for this to happen.
Yeah, it looks good though. It's. I think we thoroughly previewed this World Cup.
Realistically, it could be what like a Spain Argentina or Spain Brazil final. That would be crazy.
Could be.
But a Spain Colombia final, I'll take it.
It could be. It could be. I mean, I do think, to your point, like I think the Spanish speaking countries, maybe / Portuguese, have an edge over the other languages. It'll be really interesting to see. Really, really fun. Okay, really quick before we go, this is gonna just be our wrap up. Golden Boot winner. Who do we think?
Yeah, that could be a surprise, right? We got to see. It's gonna come from one of the brackets where the weak teams are.
Luchito Diaz.
Where Haiti, Capri. Who do we have? But who's the weak team in our bracket?
Let's see. In here,
because it's Colombia, it's Portugal, it's Uzbekistan. Okay, Uzbekistan. That's the because it's Congo. So I wouldn't. I'll tell you a name: Luis Suarez from Colombia. Not so much Luis Diaz. I'll say Luis Suarez. He's gotten knocked. He's been they in Colombia like nobody really believes in him. We don't think we have a scorer or a real number 9. And he just he was the leading scorer in Portugal. Had a really nice season, and if he flashes, I think I'm gonna pick him like a real dark horse. I'm gonna check the betting apps now to see what he would pay out, and I'll put like $10.
Yeah, that's definitely leading with your heart. But I'm choosing Harry Kane.
Absolutely. Who's on their group? No, like Harry Kane's a monster. Harry Kane's definitely a monster.
I think Harry Kane or Lamine Yamal is gonna win it.
I don't know about Lamine, but
Can look. I'm gonna give you who I think it is over Lamine. If it's somebody on Spain, I think it's not Lamine. I think it's Ferran Torres. And I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because who's gonna be feeding him.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about Lamine Yamal. I think of Lamine Yamal assisting more than anything. Lamine Yamal, that's where he's gonna flourish. Or you talk about Pedri, like just the amount of chances that Ferran is gonna have. I would probably give him an edge over Lamine in scoring. Now Lamine is going to score, but I would do that. Either that or somebody on like an Olise maybe, or Mbappe. Like those are guys I think of too. Or Dembele too. Forget Dembele in France.
Definitely, yeah. I'm going Harry Kane though, just because I want to. Okay. But I think those are all fair choices. Okay. All right. Well, okay. I think we've covered just about everything. This was such an awesome episode. Thank you, Javi, for joining us.
The whole time. Thank you.
We love whenever you can join the show. It's always so much fun. Great conversation. I think we again covered everything. Gian, we're rooting for your Ecuador. We're rooting for my USA and England, and we're rooting for Javi's Colombia.
Our USA. I think.
Well, I guess our USA. My England.
We're all going for USA, and then you're going for England. I'm going for Colombia. He's going for Ecuador. So we'll see how it goes.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching this episode of Messi Co. Lots of more World Cup stuff to come. We're going to keep posting on social media, do some more episodes. It's just like, it's one of the best things in sports, I think, is World Cup, and we're only a few days away. So this was awesome. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, 5 Reasons Football. Make sure you're following us on X at Messi Co. And for this episode of Messi Co, I'm Ashley, that is Gian, and that is Javi, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.